let's bring up our next guest, shall we? And since I've got 4, I've got to make this pretty quick. Can you hear me? She's there. She's there.
Never thought that I'd be doing like a lot of listening. No, what did I?
No, that was the last thing I expected to hear, actually.
No.
And Champworks Garage, I didn't miss you. That's my son, by the way. And he's saying I missed him. I didn't see your tag, bud. I really didn't see your tag. Oh, of all people, I should miss my son, right?
Yeah, probably, because, he's so grown up.
He is. He's older than you are. He's actually older than Angel is.
Oh. I mean, funny how Angel mentioned something about voiceover acting.
I know.
When it was like in when he was in the call earlier, because if you have you ever had the feeling that when you really idolize someone, whether like you're a child and you've idolized that person ever since you were a child, you wanted to be just like them?
Absolutely.
That's me. That's me with Tara Strong. That's me with like any other voiceover actor that I have previously mentioned, like in another show. I think it was like Favorite Celebrities.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I know that, and as soon as like I have like heard a lot about like there are some other like voice acting class opportunities, and even like D. Bradley Baker mentioned at a Comic-Con once that he has a website called iwannabeavoiceactor.com, and it's kind of interesting that he mentioned that because well, I want to, as someone who wants to be in the voice acting career, and as someone who's pursuing a degree in radio and television, and I'm not sure if that was required, but it might help me with some opportunities, rather be like, what it's like to be behind the mic and just sharing your voice with the world. That's what voice acting is all about, right?
Yes, it is. It absolutely is. Not only that, but your acting skills as well, because I would argue that it's even tougher than acting, because now you've got to convey emotions using just these chords. Yes,
you really do. Like, rather you just want to, convey, like, it's say, like, you want to recite a line from Shakespeare, and you go, to be or not to be? That is the question. You have to convey as much emotion as possible in order to like portray the character correctly.
Absolutely.
And a lot of the voice actors that I truly admire, they put in like their emotions into their voice, and that's what I really admire about voiceover acting, is that you don't have to like act on camera, and you don't have to act out your emotions. You just have to use your voice in order to convey a message or emotions. That's it.
Yes. Well, that, and I would say you got to add a little vibrato for cheesy effect. To be.
Yeah.
Or not to be.
Or
that didn't get any bit worse than that. So.
Nope. And I know I've already showed this picture already, but this is the person who I've been idolizing ever since, like, literally the very beginning of me being a big fan of animation. That's Tara Strong right there. Like, she is like.
Bring it closer to the camera.
Bring it closer?
Yeah, there you go.
This is, yeah. Do any of you in chat recognize this picture? I've shown this in the Favorite Celebrities.
Yes, I've seen the picture.
This is who I have idolized. Like, even like as I've idolized her then, and I still idolize her now, mainly because of how she is a very, very kind person. Even though she is a celebrity and she's rich, she doesn't really just stop there at being rich and not being compassionate. No. She takes the opportunity. She takes the best opportunity that she can in order to spread kindness around the world, especially like to her fans. Mm-hmm. And I remember meeting her for the first time, especially on like when I took a picture with her. Oh my gosh, she was super nice. And she and when she signed my picture, oh my gosh, she just felt like oh, my life just flashed right before my eyes.
Let that be a lesson to you folks who are going to get big, right? Never forget your fans. Me, I'm going to be an asshole. But listen, when you guys get famous,
I most certainly will never forget my fans whenever I become famous, or if I ever get into the voice acting thing, in real time and not just on online projects.
Yeah, you've got to make sure that you connect with the people that enjoy what you do.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I was making light, of course, but I firmly believe that, because here's how I know. When I was working at a television station, I was the only internet reporter, for lack of a better term. This is back in the early days, right? Mid-90s. No one was doing internet reporting at that time. But I was reporting on events like the Indianapolis 500, sporting events, and that sort of thing. And between me, you, and this camera right here, I never met a larger group. Now, it's probably different now because all those drivers are done. But I never met a larger group of well, I'll call them what they are, assholes, than the group of NASCAR drivers that I regularly ran into during the Brickyard. Honestly. And I never got over that, especially since that type of racing is usually closer to the fans than anything else. And but hey, that's between you. Keep that to yourself, Raven.
Yeah.
But I tell you, the IndyCar drivers and most of the sports figures, when I went to a sporting event to cover that, nicest guys in the world. Nicest guys in the world, at least to the press. So. That is, for whatever that's worth.
Why would you want to, why would you want to look good? Why would you want to be nice to people? Why would you want to look good for the sake of press? Don't do that for the sake of getting press. Just do it because it's the right thing to do. Do it because, it makes you feel good and it makes your fans feel good. Tara Strong, she never really is kind to people for press.
Yeah.
She just does it because she knows it's the right thing to do.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's what you do. If you ever find yourself in that position, hide your press pass and just keep your other credentials in there. Then you really get to know, who it is you're talking to. Because if they'll put on a press face. But what I used to do is I used to literally test it out and just I'd shove my press pass underneath all my other credentials, go up and start talking to them, and I could tell right away whether or not they, gave two craps about talking to me. And I usually know what I'm talking about, especially when it comes to automotive things and sports. And it was telling, to be sure. I was actually shocked, to be honest. And it was probably a 60% horrible person percentile. And again, this is back in the day. This is mid-90s, mid to late 90s.
Yeah, way before social media became very prominent. Now, with social media platforms like Facebook or Twitter, it makes it much easier for celebrities to connect with their fans.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You're right. It does. It does. And they're actually forced to, even though some don't do it very well. Social media is one of those things where you probably get to learn more about a person than you ever wanted to. And, as soon as they let that information out, they regret it. But everything lives forever on the internet.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of the internet, the day that my dream was realized, that was when we had these little email exchanges about some potential voice work for an animated project by a young animator.
You talking about our emails?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I was talking with the person responsible for the J&M animated comic things, the one Jack, and I've been through and I've answered some questions, and I gave him some test lines, and I got the part as Mary.
Awesome. Have you done any work? Have you guys cut any audio yet?
Not yet, though. We're still trying to and Jack's still trying to work on the little animation bit.
Sure.
And he's redoing all the animations. But hopefully we'll get to hear some Mary in the future. We'll just have to talk to Jack more on Discord about that.
Yeah.
Just so we can see the progress and see the behind the scenes of it.
Yeah. That's so cool. Well, congratulations on that. That's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And no, I am not Raven's agent.
Nope.
He actually thought I was your agent. Oh, well, that's great news, Raven.
The funny thing is, though, that Tony actually recommended that to me.
Yes, she's broken up, but Tony says sweet. He recognizes that was a good deal. Tony started this. He actually contacted Tony first, and then I contacted Raven and got it going. And it looks like we might have lost Raven for the evening. But Raven, oh, she's back.
Oh,
I was just going to congratulate one more time and move on to my next guest.
Funny enough, though, Tony was the one who actually recommended that part to me in an email because, I just as soon as I saw that, I just took that opportunity right away, and then I just started getting into contacts more and more, and it just feels like. And it feels like I'm the only person on the autism spectrum that's part of the voice cast.
Oh, really?
And it feels like I'm just so lonely. I told him that I told Jack that I was on the autism spectrum, and he was like, "Well, you might be the only one." And he's met different people who are on different spectrums, and that's the beauty of the internet.
Yeah, yeah.
You get to meet different people.
Absolutely. Tell me about it.
Yeah.
All right, Raven. Well, I'm going to move on to my next guest, hon. Thanks for sharing, your dreams and aspirations, and again, congrats on that. That's fantastic news.
Thank you very much.
You bet. We'll talk to you later, hon.
All right. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.